So, hello. I hope everyone's enjoying their self-isolation or quarantine or whatever you want to call it. Um, I kind of am. Um, I've been out of school for, half a week now. Um, I will be out for 3 weeks by the end of it, at least. Um, so I've been doing random stuff, but one of the things I've been doing is fortunately I was able to get this from the school before we all got locked out of the buildings. But this is a project I've been working on in an engineering class mostly, but a little bit at home as well. And I had the physical product in school, so again, very glad I was able to get this home. Disinfected it all before I touched it, and all that good stuff. All of the new normal things to do with foreign objects in your house. Things that probably should have been normal for a while, but are not. So what this is a smart mirror. So I'll flip it over soon. But before I do, I want to talk about the electronics a little bit because that's the most interesting part. Um, so down here we have two speakers. These will be driven by a little amp like this. I'm testing it with the module. I'll put the module on the breadboard as part of it. I'm going to prototype everything out on the breadboard, but I eventually want to design a custom PCB. And this is the PAM 6 whatever chip. I have it in my notes somewhere. And I have a typical operation schematic for that. So that will be drawn up and integrated onto my PCB. We also have one of these. These are the this is a clone one, but this is a SparkFun Pro Micro basically, which is a tiny Arduino Leonardo. Um, it's SparkFun publishes the schematics and actually the Gerber files for these, and I was able to convert from Gerber to KiCad. So I'm just going to take SparkFun's Gerber layout, import that into my KiCad project that I'm working on, and that way I don't have to redraw all of this, because this is actually a pretty complicated PCB, fitting all of the traces into such a neat package. SparkFun did quite a good job with that, actually. Um, Makes me feel a little bad for buying one of these clones, but these clones are so dirt cheap that it's I don't know. I'll maybe buy a real SparkFun one at one point to support them, but I have like two or three of these clones, and these are like $2 or $3 each. So, and the SparkFun ones are considerably more than that. Anyways, so it'll have one of these connected via this ribbon cable to this custom board in the front, which has 5 buttons mounted on it. That'll allow me to do navigation. This device is, I was originally going to use a Raspberry Pi, but I decided I wanted Android because I wanted to have Alexa and Google Assistant. And Alexa on Linux is just the Amazon developer version of Alexa. Doesn't let you use a lot of the skills, and it doesn't let you use Amazon Music. It's Alexa on Android is just much easier, honestly. Even though some of the stuff on Android's harder. And I know it's not as like proper or whatever, because Android is Android. Uh, but this is a little Android TV box that I'm using because the Raspberry Pi doesn't run Android particularly well. Um, Unfortunately, this only has 2 USB ports, which means I'm going to have to put a USB hub on the custom board I designed, but I already found a schematic with a readily available, cheaply available chip. It's like the FE 1.1 USB 2.0 4-port hub. So I'll just integrate that onto my board because this needs 2 USB ports. I need one of the USB ports will be internally available, and that will be the USB. This has a USB 2.0 and a USB 3.0 port. The USB 2.0 port is like a special debugging port that you can use to hook this up to a computer and get ADB and stuff, and that will be in as well as plugging in flash drive. It's a dual mode port. It works as host and you know so that will be available. I don't want that hooked up to anything. And then the USB 3.0 port will be going off to a USB 2.0 hub, so I'm not getting any USB 3.0 peripherals, but hey, it's fine. This also has built-in Wi-Fi, which is nice. I know the Pi has it, but still. Then we have the display driver back here, which is just a standard Chinese display driver thing. I actually got the LCD free from one of the IT workers at our school. They were very nice. Our school gave us a budget to work on this, and I've bought some of the stuff myself. I bought the Android TV box myself, but as part of the class, we have a budget to pursue our projects. And I wanted to buy the LCD with the school's budget, but the school politics, basically, they can't buy things on Amazon, or eBay, or anywhere that's not one of the sources that the school is friendly with. So I wanted to know if IT had a place to buy parts for laptops, because I wanted a laptop LCD, and it turned out just had a spare one they could give me. So that was very nice of them. And then I bought the driver myself. I can't remember if it was AliExpress or eBay, but it's a Chinese driver. I know the ribbon cable's very poorly ran. It's kind of bad, but I have enough space back here. It's fine. My custom PCB I'll probably end up mounting to the side, just to keep everything neat, or at least somewhat neat. I have this not blue, I can talk, green cable running off here. I should turn the lights on. You know what? Hey! I have this green cable running off here to a transistor. These buttons are one side's signal, one side's ground, and this is the power button. So that will allow me to use my Arduino to control the power of the screen by using the transistor to pull this pin low to the power ground of the screen. Because that way I'm going to probably mount a photo resistor somewhere on here so I can have it configurable to be by brightness. I can also, I don't know, I just thought that having it control, I could have just ran extensions off of this button to this board on the front, but I don't know, I thought it was better to have the Arduino control it. It's kind of needlessly complicated, but I can do stuff like put a photo resistor in there, so why not? Anyways, yeah, these are 32U4s, by the way. When I said Arduino Leonardo, it's a 32U4. Do you like that the camera can actually focus properly? I am using Google Camera. Oh yeah, also there's a microphone. There's microphones in either side, so microphone there and a microphone on the other side. They go into this little board. I don't really know why I needed this board, but I bought like a microphone thing from China, a stereo microphone. I could have probably just bought the little microphone bits themselves, but I wanted like decent microphones that would like actually be used for audio recording and not just like threshold detection. So I bought a little camera microphone module from China for like a couple bucks. It was probably kind of stupid, but I haven't really done stuff with microphones before, so I did it. And that has this stupid connector on it that's totally unnecessary, because this PCB is basically totally unnecessary, but hey, whatever. I'll probably just use this connector anyways, because it has it, and then just plug this in, put a audio jack on my PCB, and somehow plug this into it or whatever, so that way I can pull my PCB out and keep the audio cables in. But, there was probably more elegant ways to do the microphone solution, but whatever. The microphones are, of course, for Alexa and stuff. Yeah. Oh, the other reason to do the screen control with the Arduino is that I want to get some sort of rudimentary voice recognition going. I bought, with the school's money, and I actually did not get it before the school closed, and it was shipping to the school, so who knows when I'll get it. A little module for the Arduino that allows me to do voice recognition, supposedly. Voice recognition in hardware. I have no idea if it's going to be any good. That's part of why I bought it with the school's money. Because if I was buying it with my own money, then it would... If it was good, if I knew it was good, then... Anyway, I might not use it, and if I don't use it, then we can just put it with the school stuff for future projects. Anyways, if I did not have the school's budget, I would have just gone right to Raspberry Pi Zero, which is my backup plan. And my backup plan is, I know it's stupid because I already have a full computer in here and I already have an Arduino in here, but put in a third device, which would be a Raspberry Pi Zero running Snowboy, just for voice recognition, and then have that communicate over serial with the Arduino, and then all of a sudden I have 3 devices, which is stupid and pointless, but hey, you know what? I would ideally just do it in Arduino, but I have no idea if that works. and I won't for a long time because my module's at the school. Um, yes. In case you couldn't tell, I'm American. And a lot of the American schools are getting shut down now. A lot of the European schools are probably as well, but Britain is not. So I'm definitely not British. In case that wasn't clear enough. Anyways, this is the front of the device. So you can see there's a mirror. I'm not going to do a face reveal. This is one of those two-way mirrors, of course, so you can see the screen behind it. I bought this with the school's money because these are bloody expensive. You see, I'm definitely not British, even though I say bloody. These are bloody expensive. This was like $45. Like, seriously, though. Like, why? It's also really heavy. But anyways, the school had a glass shop who they work with, so they were able to sell me a mirror. Here's my button PCB at the bottom. You can see it doesn't quite flush mount, it bows out a little bit in the middle, but it's not bad, particularly from an angle. You can also see there's a little bit of hot glue here. I put some hot glue there to try to stop the button PCB from sliding around. I probably need to clean that up a tiny bit with a file, but you know what? None of the casework is decent, but not great. You can see there's some things here. It's what it is. It's it's a project, and I don't do a lot of woodworking, so yeah. And these buttons stick out the front, which is why it's on not saran wrap, aluminum foil. So I rest it there so I don't jam the buttons. But anyways, oh yeah, and I should show you this because this is kind of fun. Even though it's not level because my desk is a mess. Well, there, I showed it to you unintentionally. The top lifts off, so you can see my sandwich in here. We have the glass, the LCDs between the glass, and this thin piece of wood in the back. And the top, again, the top piece magnets on, so if we magnet that back on, then we can see it there. And this allows me to get to the screen and stuff if for some reason I need to. And it actually just made assembling it much easier because I was able to take it apart and re-put it back together a few times as I was trying to get everything to fit together well. I was originally just going to glue the top on and have it be permanently glued together, and I'm glad I didn't do that. That would have been a bad idea. Anyways, yeah. This is, I'll try to show it to you guys booted up at some point, but I want to get the Arduino going first. I have some basic code prototype, and basically, communicating between serial with the Raspberry Pi might be a bit of a problem. I might not actually be able to do that, because I'm gonna I might just have to do, like, jank communication via GPIO. It's fine, I'm not communicating that much data anyways, I just need to communicate. I could do it via GPIO if I really needed to. The Arduino is going to be running a keyboard sketch to communicate with the Android-y thing in here. And I don't think the 32U4 can do both keyboard and serial at the same time. So, yeah, we'll see. I might not even use the Raspberry Pi, depending on if the module works well. Anyways, that's all. Bye.